Bam. All right, today's video, of course, is going to be for the book coming out, of course, from Vishnu Warrior. He's gonna be here on the stream soon. But today's is tournament guidebook, of course, tournament guidebook, axioms, one-liners, and mantras is the name of the book coming out. Today, though, we're covering how to use your opponent's pieces against them with a model game from Peter Leko. Peter Leko. Right, that man very strong versus Amador Rodriguez Cepestes. Saw a game today where a guy sacked 3 queens for mate. Sheesh, 3 queens? First off, he had 3 queens. Secondly, he sacked them for mate. That is just crazy. So right here though, this game was in 1997, and Peter Leko is playing white in this game. Of course, you guys are going to be able to interact in the chat. So with that being said, let's get right to it, guys. How you use your opponent's pieces against them. Right, his own pieces. Let's check it out. E4, C5, knight f3, knight c6. Right, stuff that I already played too as well. This was in 97. We have d4. This is oops, sorry. Let's go back. All right, e4, e5, knight c6, d4. C takes d4, knight takes d4. So knight takes d4 happens in the knight f6. This is a classical Sicilian stuff. Knight c3 and d6. Right, so this is a classical Sicilian. Some of you guys already play this. Some of you don't. Right, so let's see. Bishop g5, this is the very sharp stuff, the Rauser variations where white is just trying to go all out and crush black. Vishnu is great. He's teaching me some stuff. Yeah, bro, he's great. There's no boom played by Ostrovsky. Yeah, right. So check this out. So Bishop g5 hits the knight, right? These Rauser variations are very, very sharp stuff. Very, very sharp. You're about to see all kinds of sacks and sacrifices and like all kind of things can happen in this game. But let's see. Bishop g5, a6 happens, some type of Najdorf type fashion where you play a6. You play b5 at the right moment, and even queen c7, bishop d7, maybe playing e5. Very flexible, classical stuff. After a6, there's queen to d2. So queen gets off the back rank here, of course, connecting to the bishop. We're actually threatening to castle queenside. This is our main plan. Usually pushing f4, bishop c4, and trying to mate. Queen d2, e6 happens. Boom. And it's a very flexible way of playing. Pawns on the third rank. I have b5 when I need to. I'm restricting white's play of like knight f5 and all that other stuff. I played against Peter Leko in the simul. You did. That's very nice. That is excellent. Excellent, man. Falls out. Thanks for the follow. So after castles queenside, bishop d7. And now, guys, you know, this is pretty common. So I'm not going to ask you yet. This is a pretty long game, too. So thanks for the follow, Texie. So I'm not going to ask you yet. F4 is, of course, one of the main line moves. This is what happens in these type of situations. Castle queenside, right? They trying to mate each other. So after F4 happens, thanks for the 29 months from Lorgan. Yo, that's crazy. Lorgan, you've been here 29 months, bro. You've been here forever, right? Long time. Thanks, bro. Crow Phoenix, thanks for the follow. So F4 and queen to C7. Queen C7 happens from Cepestes here. Isn't F3 also another main line? Correct, lucky speed runs, but F4 is more aggressive. And if you're going bishop G5, castling queenside, and playing F4, you are intending to not play anything passive. You are intending to pull out that saber and hit anybody in front of you. F4 is a big boy move, trying to go for everything. F5, bishop C4, sometimes even sacking on E6 in many cases. Even doing a positional sacrifice of knight D5 in many cases. Giving up a whole piece just to open up the file and to castle and to like mate this king, because so he can't castle. So queen C7, and now white to move here, folks. Okay, we're going to start with you. If you're in the chat, this is very instructive, of course, so it's for you to answer. Peter Leko playing white. We haven't got to the part yet of how we're going to use the opponent's pieces against them, but we're going to lead up to that point. So how do we get there? It's white to move. What do you do? White to move. Chat, what are we doing? Silent Rogue, thanks for the follow. Brains23, thanks for the follow. Always play king b1 from in between move. White to move, what are we doing? We have king b1 from in between move. H4 from D shock, H4, bishop C4, bishop takes F6 from Aqua. Sack that. Can't see. What do you think of the Archangel? That's that Archangel. You talking about the Roy? It's pretty straight. Pretty straight. Lotta Rompi, thanks for the follow. Bishop takes double pawns. So actually, bishop takes F6, guys, is actually something you don't really want to do, in fact. And the reason for this is actually pretty good for black. In fact, this is where his king sits, weirdly enough. The king can sometimes sit on E7 You know, you could play bishop g7, f5 at some point, use the g file. This is dynamic play. You can play for this, but this is not like the play that you always kind of go for, to be honest. In fact, yeah, but you can go for it, but black usually does okay in those lines. In fact, here, it's not enough. We don't have enough yet. Let's see. We have king b1, silent king b1. Yeah, we got the new silent emote for y'all. They love to use the silent moves. We now have a silent emote, thanks to you. h3, f6, knight d5. Okay, knight d5 is the thing. f5, right. So in fact here, and I always tell students this, that the best attacks are always prepared. So if you look at some of the best players, before you actually start doing these things that are natural, start attacking, you have to make sure everything is placed properly. So what he did here, I really like this move of just bishop e2. Bishop e2. Asking him, right, I know, right, asking him, well, Chris, that's funny, right? Asking him, what is he going to do? What are you going to do? Also, I have g4 in the works here, stopping any knight g4 action ever. I mean, this is really not a move anyway, but it also develops, and my rook can come to f1 or e1. I have developed this piece. Now, you could have made other moves with bishop e2. Makes sense. Right, silent moves. I know, Chris, it's funny. People love these silent moves. Knight to b5 from White Goats. Yeah, knight b5 is not the right moment. Not here. That would be a potential move, though, especially if a bishop was on d6. Oh, yeah, knight b5 and we live all day. It could be a potential move for real. Are you playing viewers at the moment? I am not, Dusty and Flying. We are doing the analysis. Once you said best attacks are prepared, I instantly knew it was bishop e2. There you go, D-Shock. Bishop e2. After bishop e2, there's bishop e7. Now, bishop e7 defending, or actually, I mean, kind of defending the f6 knight, but also getting the piece off the back rank. After bishop e7, White's a move, chat. Where do you go next? So we did bishop e2. Now we need to do something else here. You have to prepare. Think preparation. All good. Cool, cool. Yeah, preparation. We're prepping. Play the natural development before natural attacks. Very good. Natural development before natural attacks. I like it, TBA. Rook f1, we have g4 or h4. Silent bishop e2. Shut up. Oh my goodness, Phantom Master Cleanser. g4. g4, knight f3, king b1. h3, rook e1, h3. Okay. So a lot of times here, especially for Najdorf players, as I was one for a very long time, actually. I mean, I was loving the Najdorf. It didn't feel like a very long time, but it kind of was. You know, but knight takes d4, right? Knight takes d4 could be a possibility if you play like h3 or something. And the idea here is after takes queen c5, and I'm attacking this. In many cases, now I can play h6, try to kick you away. Bishop takes, c3 is hanging in a way. Like this all happens very quickly. So you have to respond to this very fast. In fact, knight takes d4, queen c5 is a huge idea that you play in the Najdorfs many times so that you can trade pieces off and actually use the c file as much as possible. Trades help Sicilian players and definitely in the Najdorf. Or classical Sicilians like this. So in fact, we actually play knight b3. Knight b3 was the choice here from Peter Lako. Knight b3 stepping out of the way and avoiding that trade. So b5 happened from black. b5 is on the board. And now he actually says, okay, here we go. It's time to take it. Now he takes it. With the intention that, of course, if bishop takes, now there's queen takes d6. Queen takes d6, obviously, here. Why not knight takes c6? That's a great question. In fact, knight takes c6 would be absolute garbage, 100% garbo, not a move, right? And why would we do this? After takes, you could take with the bishop. I mean, obviously, it hits e4, number one. Number two is, of course, I have a little bit more space. Rook can come to d8 to defend the d6 pawn. I can play d5 as well, right? So don't ever take on c6. There's very rare cases, and this is like for you to always remember, write it down, okay? You know, go put it somewhere and put it in your safe at night and lock it, right? In the Sicilians here, you never take on c6. There's very rare cases or occasions here that you take on c6. Never, ever do you take on c6. Maybe once or twice. There's always like very few occasions that you will take this knight. But usually don't, because it can help black. So king b1 from Aquaman says king b1. Not necessarily yet. Knight b3, yeah. So now after knight b3, it clears the file for the queen and the rook battery here. You know, never play f6 is what I hear. Correct, but I think he should always put on the end of that. You should never play f6 unless, because there's factors involved. Never play f6 unless, right? But he does make a good point. Don't push the f pawn. So big shout out to the big man, big fella, Ben Feingold. So knight f3, we actually open up queen and rook for d6. d6 is hanging after bishop takes f6. Thanks for the follow, Mouse Frick. So b5, bishop takes f6. If bishop takes back, hitting. So you have to take with the g pawn to keep everything all nice and solid. Yeah, it looks cool, but we can't really expand without making weaknesses and weakening the king. So we have to proceed with caution and the utmost accuracy and calculation. h4 says d-shot. Big brain time. Can't you go learn this? Yeah, all right. Good stuff. Appreciate it. Noted. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And that's notes coming from GM. Yeah, big facts, right? Big facts, right? GM in the making. So bishop takes f6, takes bishop h5. So okay, bishop h5 is right here on the board. And in fact, going back here, Peter Lako played this move right here. And let me actually see what the engine thinks. And I figured because this move is and then it shows up. Yeah, Peter Lako was, I mean, bro, this was in 97, okay? 1997. I was 5. I was 5 years old, bro. Right. My man's out here played the third most engine move here. Move number 3 is bishop h5. This man, Peter Lako, was too beastly. Bishop h5, my guy, on the board. This is what he played in the game. Thank you for the follow, Odamus. Yeah, so bishop h5, the intention here is to try to stop the king from, literally the king can castle queenside. Weird as this is, you may think, oh, I'm never castling because of these open, but actually castling queenside is a legit thing. You can castle queenside. Let's actually flip the board, right? Flipping the board shows you could castle queenside. You literally can. In many cases, this does happen. So bishop h5 actually makes you think twice about doing that. In fact, just giving up a free pawn for nothing. And also sometimes if we can make stuff happen, knight d5, maybe even drop a piece in on e6 if possible, or even get the queen over to here. There's many ways you could do this. That's where there's no h4 yeah. Bishop h5, that's funny. Bishop h5, and then after bishop h5, b4. So he hits the knight. Now you have the thematic sacrifice, right, of knight d5. In many cases, you'll see this in the knight orph situations. But do you go for this, right? So chat, this is a big question. Think about this. Do we go for the thematic sacrifice, or do we just sidestep it with knight e2? b4 is we're attacked. So here are your options. What are you doing in the chat? It's on you. Where do you go? Now, what changed about position to make it Lego take on f6? What changed about the position? Great job. Because the d6, the d6 pawn was now attacked. Remember, with the knight on d4, taking on f6 doesn't help. But now that the knight was removed and went to b3, the d6 pawn is weak after bishop takes f6, forcing g takes f6, which is now a different situation. So let me fix these arrows. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Okay, we're just gonna leave that one there. So let's see. All right, careful with the arrows. Yeah, I'm just trying to fix it, but whatever. Maybe not the arrow formation. Yeah. I was trying to fix this one in the center, but it was like off because I was talking about two separate things. So these are squares. Yeah, them arrows was going too much. They was going nuts. I was just thinking about other stuff, right? A lot of stuff in there. All right, so where do you go? King b1, that is not a move, Aqua. You have blocked with your absolute face there. Absolutely not a move. Don't do that to yourself. This is a family channel. h4, h5, knight e2. So you're talking about knight e2 and then play h4, h5? Knight d5, right, doesn't get it either. Knight e2, bishop takes f7. Okay. Where are we going? Y'all funny. He funny for that, D-Shock. Stop it. Y'all funny. Y'all are too much. g5. So knight d5 is a move, but it is not the move that he played. We're correct. The king is in the castle, and it's not. It's not enough yet. It's literally not enough. Y'all stupid. Not stupid for that. Knight d5. So in fact, instead of knight d5, he just said knight e2. I'm out the way. Have a nice day. Like, bro, I'm just gonna get out your way. We're gonna sidestep it and be gone. And then a5 happens. So now he's like, cool. You're not attacking me. Well, guess what? I'm gonna attack you, big dog. So a5. Now we still haven't got to the part yet about how to use your opponent's pieces against him. Watch how he demonstrated this. He's going to use his own pieces, or the opponent's pieces, as his own to finish this game. Let's see how that works. a5, knight b to d4, right? Takes, rook c8. It feels like black is on the attack here for real. With a4 and b3 coming next, he feels like he got something going here. Classic play that you get in Sicilians, especially on the opposite side, castles kind of thing. Where his king happening in castle, but we're castle, we're a target. A lot of things can happen. Rook c8. Now, what do we play? Go ahead, put it in the chat. I know you're ready. I know you was ready to play this one. Come on. Where is it? White to move. Put it in the chat. Everybody's ready for this one. H4, F5. Jessica, we got H4. What's up, big fella? What's good? H4 from Aqua. King B1 from Jackson. King B1, there it is, but you have to say it a certain way. King B1 has to be played a certain way. How are we playing King B1 here? Always play King B1, that is correct, but still not say it correctly. I'm waiting for it. Fan of Master Klendrick, like, bro, this was your cue, dude. This was your cue, Fan of Master Klendrick. Wow, he just didn't even get hit way over his head. Way over his head. Correct, in between move, caught it. Yes, silent. We have a new emote for that reason. Absolutely. Thanks for the follow, Notorious Prospering. Right, come on now. The silent King B1. Correct. That's what your man's played. The silent King B1. Stepping out the way. Have a nice day. So King B1, Rook G8, hitting G2, but not really. So after Rook G8, it's time to finish our development because we haven't had anything or everything ready yet. F5 can happen, but it needs to be ready and prepped. So Rook 8 to E1. Watch how this game about to get crazy. King F8, sidestepping any type of action. Get out of those X-rays ASAP. And then G4. I like this move a lot of space here, but still not enough yet. In fact, the engine says this is equal. Engine always say this equal, no matter what it is. It's always equal somehow. But after G4, A4, and then Rook E3 from Peter Lakoff. All right, so here we go. This is, we're very close. In fact, let's make a few more moves here. A3, B3, and then E5. So E5 is on the board. This is getting very nasty. Obviously, we have to go knight F5 for all the attacking players in the chat watching this. You got to go forward, and it's always good to go forward. Engines are savages, correct. Right, so knight F5. Knight F5, bishop takes F5, E takes F5, and now we have the opposite color bishop situation where one's a pawn and one is half of a pawn, because this one ain't that good, but it is at least doing something, and it has the potential to actually be something. So D5 happens, boom. Let me get a real silent correct. Yeah, D5 happens, and you thinking here, yo, queen takes D5, queen takes C2, mate, and we great, start a new one. So you can't take this, and it feels like black's actually pressuring white. So F takes E5, he takes first, and you seem like that could be really ridiculous in a way. But he played D4 first, saying, oh, wait, let me get an extra push, because if queen takes, I'm going to take on C2, check, and then mate on B2. So he plays Rook E2, and at this point, it feels like black is like, yo, hey, black doing quite well here. Black is doing pretty fine, huh? So now it's white to move. You feel like you're in a slight dilemma, but can you keep your composure, and can you find a combo here or a good move? F6, sack to always, says Watchful Prism. Queen H6, we got G5. How does white save this game? Correct, Igno. Yeah, looks crazy, don't it? Take it and hope it don't notice. Rook C1, oh man, always play F6. F6, F6, I see it, you guys are correct. F6 is nasty, that's a good move. That's a very good move, F6. That's correct. And bishop takes F6, there's a lot of stuff that can happen here. In fact, Rook F2 is just the first move. Queen H6, I mean, not really. In fact, Queen H6 might be just losing. He just blocks, like, in a way. Yeah, he takes the pawn, but now you have to worry about C2 again. Yeah, you was right, Watchful Prism. Look at that. A broken clock is right twice a day. That's right, and you was right today, big fella. Look at that. So bishop takes F6, run into Rook C2, or F2, sorry. Rook F2, which is really strong, and then doubling on the file with a smile here. Looking crazy. I mean, he in trouble for real. So he actually didn't take that at all. In fact, he saw that, played bishop D6. It does allow me to play queen H6 here, but I still have to worry about C2, in fact, in many cases. Or maybe not, you know, not all the way now, because this is now up here defending, helping us out. Actually, let's go back a little bit. I do want to catch something. Yeah, he went Rook E2. Yeah, and check. Okay, so after F6, yeah, after like 5 round sacks, right? Queen H6, King B1, correct. So here we go. Rook E2 or a bishop D6. After bishop D6, he checked. He did go check, and now King E8. And now in this situation, I have to respond to something. So black has this threat of queen C3 and queen B2 checkmate. I mean, the way to defend that is queen C1, but that becomes extremely passive here. So now it's white to move here, folks. How do you get out of this? How do you get out of this? It is white to move. In fact, let's see if you can find it. We have Rook to D3, stopping all stuff, it looks like. Rook D3. Okay, and then we have C4. Right? C4 is explosive. C4, this game is getting wild looking now, right? Rook takes D3, Rook D4. Great choices, chat. Great choices. Only two of them actually are correct. Two of them are correct. One is the engine analysis, and the other one is actually the move from the game. So number one, in fact, let's start with this. If you said Rook D3, pat yourself on the back, clap it up for yourself. Okay, flex real hard. You know, you get an upgraded lightsaber. We keep them in the back. You know, make your way to the back, get your upgraded lightsaber. Rook D3 is actually from the engine. Rook D3 is the engine analysis, which makes total sense, right? Like, why would you make any other move? It just looks like Rook D3. But in fact, the other move that is the move from the game, and this is how you use your opponent's pieces against them. This is how you do it right here. C4. Wow. Look at this move right there. This man just said, go ahead, take it. I dare you. And if you don't take it, well, then how are you going to checkmate me? How are you ever going to mate me? Right? It's an umbrella pawn. Very nice. So after C4, I said C4 is Jessica right. So now the famous en passant, bam, he says en passant. But now, what's the next move? Hold on. Are you ready? What is the next move? White to move. What do you do? What do you do here? C4, right? We got King C2, King B2, if it was possible. Pawns in the way. En passant. Yeah. King C2, King C2. Y'all saying it a lot. There it is. Unanimous King C2 and some strange ones. People saying King B2 and King BC2. Okay, all right. It's going to be okay. All right. We still love you. King C2. King C2 using his own pieces against him. Saying, hey, you know what? Go ahead. Look at this. What you going to do? How are you going to get anything to fly here? Using his own pieces against him. This was phenomenal to see this kind of blockade happen in like real time here. This is fire. King to C2 after sacrificing and blocking your attack with your own pawn. Right? Insane. This game is officially above my pay grade. Watch, I'm going to close my eyes. Phosphor Prism, you too funny. King C2, King D8. So he's like, yo, now he's starting to realize, oh snap, this man then blocked everything. And I'm about to block with my face. So I need to step out the way. King D8, he hopped out of the way. Rook takes D4 was the thing. So he took on H7. Why not? Hit the rook. F7 still hanging. And we got passers. Hold on. We got boys trying to run. Right? Rook F8. I'm out the way. Defending F7 at the same time. And then G5. Push him. Push him. Yasser says that. You know how I go. G5. Rook B8. Trying to do anything. I actually don't even know what this is. Maybe Queen C8. But if that's the case, you could have played Queen D7. But what does that even do? You don't have a check. I mean, in this case, like literally you have no play. Your own pieces are blocking you. You have no play. You literally have to end up sacking. So after Rook to B8, Bishop G4. Look at the light squares. Look at the difference in the opposite color bishops. Just because there are opposite color bishops there does not mean that it's actually a draw. So you should always get that out of your head. That at least, especially when pieces are still on the board here, because the one part or one bishop cannot oppose the other. Obviously, they're on different colors or different color complexes. So this bishop, it can't do anything. It can't attack anything. His pieces are blocking him. Literally, we're using his own pieces against him. And then we're going to move this queen here and, have this file on Lockster and then push this boy through. Have a nice day. Easy. Bishop G4, Queen C6. I don't even know what this does. Like, where is he going next? I don't even know. You can't go here. You can't go here. You can't go here. You can't go here. You can't go anywhere. E4, I just take it. I mean, I don't know, right? I just don't know. Queen to C6, H4. And I think Peter Leko was like, yeah, I don't know either. H4, we just about to push that boy. And then Rook B4, he looked around the board, looked both ways before you cross the street. And then he played H5 too. What are you going to do? And then at this point, he was like, bro, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. And life as we know it is slipping away from me. So he plays D3 check. This is the intention of Rook B4 to take on G4. Obviously, we saw this, or he saw this, so Rook takes D3. Or Queen takes D3, in fact, sorry. D3, right. Queen takes D3, Queen takes D6 is the move to follow. Because if Rook takes, then I take, and I go into a winning pawn in game. Very easy. Very easy. So Queen takes D3, Rook D4. Very nice move. And I could take on C3, but in fact, that actually loses on the spot. GG, start a new one. Sheesh. My goodness. In fact, right now, yeah, it's losing. But it's not losing as much as you would think, but it is losing. So don't do that to yourself. So queen f5 and we live, right? Keeping some ideas here. If rook takes, we still have the e2 rook able to cover c2. We're doing quite fine. After queen f5, rook d2 check, going for the last ditch effort here to try to make some things work. Because if you're not careful, you can actually get in some type of trouble here. Now, rook takes, obviously takes, and king c7 stepping out of the way. Rook c1 looks like an awesome move here. But I think bishop b4 and rook d8, and we great. Sheesh. My goodness, that's pretty scary. So, and let's just show that, right? Rook c1, bishop b4. I think king d1, you might be okay though. Wow, you actually have this move. Oh my goodness, look at that. Queen d7. And then take this. Oh, AK cashing. Oh my goodness, that is gross. So he probably could have went for that. But you don't want to play with fire like that though. King c7, he didn't want to play with fire. I totally understand. That was dirty, Leopatra. That was nuts. So bishop f3. Bishop f3 hitting the queen. No checks. I mean, obviously if you check, I can go king e2 now. That was crazy, Saga, right? Bishop f3 hitting with the check. I step out the way. I don't want to go anywhere. In fact, you know, this is probably no good. Yeah, that was nasty. That was nasty. King e2, and then after e4. And in fact, the next move here was bishop takes e4, and that was a wrap. After bishop takes e4, this is the end of the game, which means resignation happened right here. Bishop takes e4, game's over. He did win the game right here. Peter Leko showed you how to use your opponent's pieces against him, saying, hey, you can have this pawn, but I'm going to block up the whole game. You can't do nothing. Now, let's see why he resigned, though. Like, what do you actually do in this position? Maybe throw a check in, and then king f3. I'm going to make some good day, everyone. What's up, Zero Glitch Hero? Welcome. Hey, man, hop on the tube, man. Get a lot of content there. King f3, maybe rook d8. I mean, I got passed pawns, so like, it doesn't matter what black does. At the end of the day, I always have this too. So you may stop one thing, but you'll never stop this either, which makes it over for you. So, and that was the game, man. Peter Leko won that one. That's how you use your opponent's pieces against them.